Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
You're listening to My Neighbour Zuckerberg.
Hello, dear listener. Thank you for tuning into our very first episode of My Neighbour Zuckerberg. I'm host number 1, Munaf Kapadia, Chief Eating Officer at the Bori Kitchen. I, along with my mom, sell samosas for a living.
I'm host number 2, Nabeel Merchant. I, along with my twin brother, run a home services startup called Fixie. We fix taps for a living.
And on My Neighbour Zuckerberg, we invite ordinary people. Maybe someone you passed while jogging on Carter Road.
Or it could also be the guy you recently pooled an Uber ride with. Oh wait, it could also be your neighbor.
But you know what makes these ordinary people extraordinary?
Mm-hmm.
It's their journey. It's their story, which is truly inspirational because it's filled with adventure and struggle.
On today's show, we are talking to entrepreneur and our neighbor, Satyajit Roy, the co-founder and CEO of EGK, Everyday Gourmet Kitchen. Hi Satyajit.
Hi guys, what's up?
Hey Satyajit.
We're so happy to have you out here.
Happy to be here.
In fact, I'm almost teary-eyed. Satyajit runs this fantastic business where he sells fried onions.
Yeah, that's right. Fried onions.
He's
Also
popularly called
The onions.
the Onion
fuse.
Knight. I think the onion is to me right now. But yeah.
In fact, it's really funny, Nabeel, because when I first came across Satyajit, I came across his Facebook profile quite some time back.
Okay.
And I read Onion Knight. Okay, that's his name on Facebook.
So he calls himself Satyajit
Onion
Knight
Knight
Roy.
Yeah. And and my first impression was this guy must be one of those nerds or geeks who plays role-playing games or something like that, and hence he has the name.
Yeah.
But
The secret names that you have in chat rooms and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Satyajit, over to you.
So, a little about EGK. EGK was started in December 2014, about a year and a half back. We started this company straight out of my house kitchen. So, being Bengalis, my last name is Roy. Being Bengalis, we cook this humongous pot of mutton biryani every Sunday.
Wow.
So, it's a family tradition, and whatever is left over, we distribute it amongst the watchmen and whoever's at right.
Listeners, every Sundays you'll know where to go to. No?
Yeah, for sure.
somewhere
It's
in
an open
Worli,
house.
there are mutton biryani fumes.
So yeah. So having this tradition every Sunday, that meant every Sunday morning when I woke up, the house would be filled with onion fumes. And one such Sunday, I woke up at 9, went out, I had some work, came back by 12 o'clock, and I was really tired after my chores or whatever I had gone to do. I come back to this house full of onion fumes and tears, and I walk in and they're frying the onions. So there's even more fumes and it's even more smelly, and I was like, hey guys, come on, it's Sunday. Don't ruin every Sunday like this. Because we used to wake up to this every Sunday morning.
Right.
Okay.
So my mom was actually cutting the onions that day because no one had showed up to help her.
Okay.
So I was like, this is a terrible way for you to spend your Sunday also.
Okay.
Because she works hard all week, and to spend 3 hours on a Sunday morning chopping onions is something that nobody wants to do. So I said, there must be a better way for this. Let's check if we get some fried onions in the market. I'm sure there is a company that does this.
Oh my God,
So I whipped out my phone and Googled
Just
it. Googled it straight away.
Googled
Googled it, and Google showed me results all over the world. That there are fried onions being done all over the world. But much to our surprise, not in India.
Fantastic.
Okay, there was not a single company.
Not a single company that's doing it, at least in retail.
In India.
In India, where we could go and buy these fried onions
Off the rack from a general store or something
which
of that
would have
sort.
solved our issues. So instead of solving our issues, then we are members at the National Sports Club at Haji Ali.
Okay.
So there's a consumer store over there where they sell to all the members,
Right.
all food products, everything, household products. So we went to him. We have a relationship with him for the past 10 years. So we went to him and we asked him, would you consider keeping fried onions in your shop, and will you consider selling them? We are making it from home right now.
Okay.
But if it sells, then we'll obviously move into a kitchen and such. So he said, okay, he was a Bengali too. So I guess he understood that. He
India,
understood the
this
pain.
helps. This really helps.
Oh yeah, you bet it helps.
Like tip for
Frying
the
onions.
first tip has already come out. Okay, out of this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, Bora
Please
and Bora.
leverage your community.
Oh man, you have to leverage everything, not just your community. So he agreed, and they are our biggest store now. We sell about 50 kgs a month through their store.
Wow.
Wow.
So those are pretty huge numbers.
So let me understand this.
Yeah.
So Everyday Gourmet Kitchen started off with a simple idea that how can I make my mom's life easy
Yeah.
on a Sunday while
Yeah.
she's preparing
Biryani.
mutton biryani.
Mutton biryani.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
But it's kind of cool, right? Because I'm sure all the entrepreneurs who are listening to the show, they're probably nodding their heads thinking, hey, all ideas start off with a problem that they face.
They need to solve themselves for themselves, probably.
Yes, yeah.
And that, what I think is that if you're solving a problem for yourself, it's far more likely that other people are bound to have that problem. So when you're starting off, the best thing to do is, consider it, what problem you're solving for yourself, and then how big an impact it'll have if you're able to scale it out.
Fantastic.
So for us, I always say, I've been able to take away my mom's tears, but now I have to take away everyone else's mom's tears also.
So, Satya,
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about your business. So today, what kind of turnover does EGK do? In case you're comfortable sharing these numbers.
Sure. So I'll share an approximate number, and
Okay.
I'll share the quantities that we do because they are pretty large from what we started off with. So we started off doing about 100 gram packets a day.
100 grams
So
packets a
that's
day.
2 kgs a day.
2 kilos a day, okay.
And in 18
fried
months
onions.
of fried onions. And
Okay.
let me tell you that the ratio of raw onions to fried onions is 5:1. So 5 kgs of raw onions, once you fry it and de-oil it and do everything,
That's
1
1
kg comes out of
So
that.
10 kilos of raw onion is what
Will
you
give me-
processed.
Yeah,
Oh.
10 kgs
That's
a day.
how you started.
That's how we started.
Not
This
bad,
was
no, that's
in-
pretty
Ratio is 5:1, basically.
So at that point, we didn't have any sales. We were just making 20 packets a day because we could make 20 packets a day, right?
Okay, but is that the norm usually? So
Yeah.
5:1. So
5:1
every 5
is the
raw
norm.
onions will give you 1
Yeah,
kg of
yeah,
fried
yeah.
onions. Okay.
That's the norm, like mostly. Sometimes it varies. You may get a better ratio depending on how much moisture is there in the onion, and it depends on the onion. also.
Onion R&D.
Onion orange.
Right.
Okay.
So we were doing about 10 kgs a day of raw, and today we do about anywhere between 75 and 80 tons in a month.
1 minute.
75,000 to 80,000 in a month kgs of onions we are processing to sell about 15 tons of raw onion of fried onions monthly. So that's 500 kgs a day. So we've gone from 2 kgs to 500 kgs in 18 months.
So just walk us through the process, right?
Sure.
How long does it take when you start, like, to fry onions, like 10 kgs of onions,
Right,
for
right.
it to become 2 kgs of fried onions? How long does that process take?
So now we have our standardized formulas that we apply that
Okay.
have come through a lot of testing, extensive testing and client feedback, and our clients guided us on how to get our product standardized to the right fit for the market.
Right.
And it's come over the last, say, 12 to 18 months itself. We've been improving on our product, improving on our processes, and finally we've come to what works for us. So around it depends on the batch size actually, so it takes
Okay.
around 10-15 minutes, but now it depends on the fryer also. So in the last 18 months we've been kicked out of about 5 kitchens.
You've been kicked out
Oh yeah, we've been
of 5 kitchens.
aggressively asked to leave because we cause too much fumes, too much smoke, too many
many
tears.
tears, yeah.
Yeah, it was funny up till a point. It's
It
not
makes sense,
funny
it makes
anymore
sense,
for
yeah.
us.
Oh.
Wow,
So
okay.
even recently, this one we've not got kicked out of. We are now expanding into our new kitchen, new factory space at Taloja, which is a huge shed.
Moving into a factory.
Yeah, so now we have outgrown the kitchen. So we're doing 80 tons a month, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
we want to scale that up to at least doing 500 tons a month, because that's the kind of market there is for our product that we see in the future if we are able to scale at the right
Lovely,
pace.
outstanding. So, barely 4 minutes back we were discussing how you started this in your house.
Yep. So let's get to from how we went from my house to how we reached.
if you just run us through a timeline,
Sure,
it'll be really amazing.
Definitely. So in December 2014, a little before December, say October 2014, we had the whole situation in my house, and the next week we had like a small packet ready with stickers and everything,
Right.
and we put it in the NSCI store. And from our home itself, we were making onions at home. And
That's not bad, huh? Like from problem to actual execution and product,
less than a week.
1 week.
1 week, because it was very basic, and so me personally, I'm like very experienced at getting businesses off the ground, at least initial stage, because I've had 3 or 4 failed startups before this. So I know at least how to get going.
Fantastic.
Until now, I didn't know where to get going. Now we kind of do. In a week, we had a very basic, simple sticker done from a printer. We had the tinfoil packet from Crawford Market. We went and got it. We bought one sealer, hand sealer, which we were making. I have the cook at home.
Yeah.
He was doing it. He was frying it.
Oh.
So in October, we started with about, say, 20 packets a day. And by December, we decided that let's test out the market. So obviously one store is not enough to give you the feel of the market.
course,
Right.
And I don't know what it was. It was some lucky turn of events that the Upper Crust Food Show, they were having these discounted tables given for young entrepreneurs. So, and it was for $5,000. So I said, yeah, we can do that. We can do that for sure. Let's try it out. And we took that discounted table at that point and started off, because at this point, I myself was not convinced, right?
Right.
I just knew that there is a product, there may be a demand, we don't know. I know there's a demand in my house. So, it's
There must be a demand in this whole building, and then maybe to the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And maybe the whole street.
You don't know, right? Because until you test the market, until you have real paying customers, any assumption is invalid.
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Completely agree.
so we did this Upper Crust Food Show, and incidentally, that is where I picked up the moniker of Onion Knight. Onion Knight was basically, it's basically a reference to Game of Thrones. Yeah, so
The profession and the business that you've started, it's not glamorous.
not at all.
It's very painful, and it's like I can just imagine
It's an
that.
old school brick and mortar business which has no glamour at all
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, I feel what we've been able to do over the last 18 months is add some sort of sexiness to the brand, where even the cool kids are talking about us.
I mean, when you have your title as the Onion Knight, I'm sure
So that's something we worked on. Like I said, this was my third or fourth, maybe my fifth startup that I was starting after 3 or 4 failed ones. So I was determined to give this my all in.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, everything I had. I said, if there is anything that's holding me back, let me just drop it. Let me drop my
inhibitions, everything.
Let me just go all out and let's see what happens, right?
Yeah.
The response that I got at Upper Crust really convinced me more than anything else that there is a market. Because everyone I met over there, they came to me and they said, Beta, you made our life so easy in the kitchen. And that's all I needed to hear. And by Jan, we were out of the house into a kitchen. A small 200 square foot kitchen where we started, then we started buying some more machines and stuff to move it ahead.
Fantastic.
So that's how it started. That's how I convinced myself.
Lovely. And I think this is a good time to take a break. And we'll probably go and fry some onions.
I hope not.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Malika Singhania, co-founder of the blog Stylogram, where we cover trends, fashion forecasts, celebrity style, tips and tricks, and lots more cool stuff. So tune in every Thursday to the Stylogram podcast, your weekly style telegram, giving you the latest fashion and beauty stories that are relevant to you. You can also subscribe to our show on iTunes, SoundCloud, Audio Boom, or any other local podcast app. See you soon.
Okay, so we are right back. We've just combined some of Satyajit's fried onions with the Bori Kitchen's lovely mutton biryani.
Yeah.
Plug in.
Shout out.
And we have a lovely, dinner
Marriage.
snack, I would say.
We have a marriage out
We have a marriage out here.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we're back. Satya, we're just, going to take it from where you left it at.
Okay.
Your journey. So
let's say we did the Upper Crust show in December.
in December.
And
absolutely.
in Jan, I moved into my own kitchen. a small 200 square foot place.
For all the folks, Upper Crust is a very famous food trade show.
Food trade show that happens in December.
That happens in December. So all aspiring food entrepreneurs, I think you should definitely look that up.
Check it out for sure. Yeah. So by Jan, we had one small kitchen where we were doing, I think about 20 kgs a day then of finished product. We built that out over the next 3 months. We then got into about 10 or 15 stores in Mumbai, because my initial strategy was that let's get to the customer straight.
Okay.
And as we started exploring those options, it got a little more complicated. So what was happening was we wanted to get into retail and reach the consumer directly. So the ideal way, if you were in the States, is to go through go to one of the big box retailers, get your product approved, and then just start banging out product.
Yeah.
Correct.
So in India, it's a little different, especially if you're a young startup starting off. So we spoke to Reliance Fresh, we spoke to Big Bazaar, and what we realized was that they only do large volumes, bulk buying region-wise. And also they have a payment day cycle of 90 days. So if you're a startup and you have your bootstrapping, there's no way you can handle 90 days of credit period from huge orders. So we said, let's drop this strategy for a while. Let's see where else we can implement this product. And while we were going to shops, we started exploring the options of talking to restaurants and caterers also, because we realized that the volumes that they'll be doing is much more than what anyone would be doing at home.
Yeah,
right?
true.
So once we started
get the ball rolling.
We'll get the ball rolling. Let's see if it's accepted, not accepted. So it was a struggle for a long time, because it's a new product. It's coming into the commercial market also. There has to be acceptance from one of the big guys maybe, then people will follow suit.
Right.
Because in India, you're always going up against automation and labor. And labor is so cheap here that they used to just keep 2 guys to just chop, peel onions and fry onions. But that was a real job for 2 people.
So obstacle one was mainly the fact that the larger retail formats.
Yeah. And that's when we sort of changed our strategy, pivoted slightly.
And hence restaurants and caterers and all that stuff.
And then the challenge over there was to get the product accepted, because it was a new product.
Because a new product,
Again, they're going up against such old school mindsets who have been doing this for,
So what was a typical conversation to a restaurateur? Like, for example, I'm restaurant A.
So we go with our product samples and we go to them and say, we know that you've deployed maybe 1 or 2 guys in the kitchen to do this. So basically what happened is we got Cafe Britannia on board last year.
Wow,
okay.
Uncle, how did you convince Uncle out there?
So, Cafe Britannia was on my
radar.
My dream list of, I have this dream list of clients where I'm like, if I get any of these guys, I don't mind even giving them free, just to have them on my client list.
Dream list of fried onion clients.
So Britannia was obviously one of them. Everyone used to keep telling me, you have to supply to Britannia. And we also started exploring opportunities in Hyderabad, because we were like, biryani is a huge market in Hyderabad. So we do a lot of business. Maybe 30% of our business currently is in Hyderabad.
In Hyderabad?
In Hyderabad. Because it's a biryani hub, right? By December of 2015, we started reaching sales volume of about 100 kgs a day.
Oh, okay.
With our Hyderabad clients. So
this is the raw part.
Yeah.
So the raw part. How did you distribute to Hyderabad? Like, how do you sell your
So we send to them in 500 kgs together.
Achha.
Okay.
And so it's not an issue. The logistics of it is, especially if you're doing such bulk business, it's not that cumbersome, because it's not hyper local. You don't have to do for small amounts. You don't have to do any deliveries.
So I'm a consumer now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can possibly go to one of the stores in Worli, because that's where your kitchen is.
In fact, you can go to any Nature's Basket.
Oh, fantastic! So now I go to Nature's Basket and I can pick this up off the shelf.
Pick this up off the shelf.
Wow. And now when and how much it's still served in the 20-gram packets?
No, 100-gram packets.
100-gram packets. Sorry, my bad. So 100-gram packets.
And 60 rupees per 100 grams.
Okay.
Is what you'll get it at Nature's.
Okay, and now
any
I can.
Other store.
And if I want to store this, right, I can just put it in a refrigerator.
In a refrigerator or any airtight container.
And whenever I want to use the fried onions, do I need to heat it or?
No, nothing. You can use it straight away. Basically, in most Indian cuisine, and 85% of the onions that are used throughout are fried. So either you fry it in the beginning because usually the onion takes the longest time to fry.
Correct.
So what we suggest is if you want to use as a gravy base, that you put it in the end. Like how you start with frying the raw onion, you don't have to do that anymore. You do everything else, put the onion in the end because it's already fried.
And it'll slowly the flavor will dissolve around.
It dissolves into the
gravy or whatever you're actually creating.
So it saves you a lot of time, a lot of tears also.
Okay.
Fried onion best practices.
Yeah. For sure.
Wow, man, that's really amazing. So by December 2015,
December
100 kgs a day.
we had 100 kgs a day. We've outgrown that kitchen and we've been asked to move.
Okay.
So like, so this is what happened in December. We picked up these orders and our kitchen at that point was only able to. So we had been kicked out of 2 kitchens by then already. So
tell me more about that.
So we kept scaling up wherever. If we were anywhere residential, within like 3 months, it used to get unbearable for them.
Of course.
So then we moved into a sort of makeshift industrial kind of area for a while, and even there. So we didn't invest much into the kitchen at that point. We were still seeing what is the market.
You're keeping your overheads low.
Yeah, we're keeping it very low at that point. Because even I was convinced that there is a market, but I was like, wait, let's just check before we take these huge steps ahead. Let's just hold on.
Yeah. So I think one clear lesson to all entrepreneurs who are starting off: keep your overheads extremely low. Like
as low
save
as
much as money as possible. Try to
yeah.
do all the work
yourself.
As a founder yourself, no matter how tedious or how
But this is limited. This is also limited. You have to once you're able to afford people, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Once you're able to build your own team out, it becomes so important to start delegating.
Yes.
Okay. You have to get out of all the roles, the million roles you're doing, because you can't. There's no way you can sustain that as a person.
Okay, so I'm really glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So Satya, tell me, what is the first time you found yourself delegating something? What is the first function you delegated?
The first function I delegated was deliveries. Then logistics.
Okay.
The whole coordination of me taking the calls and then passing the message on to my kitchen, make these amount of packets in this pack. That was the first thing I delegated. Because firstly I didn't want the deliveries to depend on me. Okay. So we were at a certain capacity. And then I realized that unless we start fulfilling that capacity, we won't be able to grow.
Right.
So I decided to hire one person to sit in the office, just coordinate deliveries. Very simple job. Now that person has grown into the role of handling the whole office on her own. So it's been, we've seen growth not just in terms of
number of onions being fried, but also the
everything.
people.
And people have had to grow in their jobs, and now again we are on the steps of another huge move into a new factory. So that's again a new setup that we have to get adjusted to. So the first thing I delegated was that. Best practices, I used to do whatever job I want to delegate for 2 weeks to a month, and know what that job entailed of. And then over the next month, hand it off to the person that I wanted to hand it off to.
In a business like this, right? I think cost becomes an interesting factor, considering that food inflation can be one of the major reasons that can literally, topple, your balance sheet completely. Right?
Completely.
I mean, especially with onions, no?
Especially onions. Such a volatile, and I've been reading about this, right? Onions prices have gone up by X amount of like 5x of the market price and all that stuff.
Definitely. In fact, last year it was so volatile. The prices in Bombay retail went to about 100 rupees a kg.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I was not sure, but 100 rupees a kg is what they were quoting.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
And in wholesale, we had to buy at 55 rupees a kg.
What are you saying?
And at that point, it was not sustainable to fry also to sell. So I said, we'll just sell this raw because that's what we did. So you actually sold. So at that point, we weren't at these volumes of tons a month, right? We were still in kgs, 500 kgs a month, max 1000 kgs a month.
Right.
So what happened last maybe September, when the prices were completely up and down, it was really high. We decided to place our first order from Nasik, from the big yard over there. So we ordered for 4 tons of onions, and we got it at 55. And I sold 3 tons of those onions at an average of around 70 to businesses, because that the retail, the APMC rate that the businesses were getting it at was around 65, 68, and it was going to go up in the next few months again.
So are you planning to go full stack very soon?
So definitely. So I recently had a very interesting conversation with someone who was asking me about the social impact of our business, because again last year when there was this crazy volatility, and this year has been the price has not gone up at all this year since Feb or March.
Lovely.
of 2016. It's been 10-12 rupees.
Is that scary also sometimes?
It is totally scary because
does it affect your retail price as well?
Not for me, but for the farmers, it's they are not able to get their money back on their investment in terms of. So let me give you a fact, okay, like a figure. In Maharashtra is the highest growing. Grows the most onions in India, and India is the second or third largest producer of onions in the whole world.
Okay.
The amount of onions grown in Maharashtra is 19 million metric tons.
19 million metric tons.
So 19 million into 1,000, there are those many kgs. Yeah. So out of that, 25%.
That's 19 billion tons.
Probably, yeah. So 25%.
That's some fast maths.
4 to 5 tons of that is wasted every year. It's just wasted.
4 to 5 tons is.
It just goes as waste. These guys can't sell it at the right price.
Hey, but that's a very small. So 19 billion tons, right? And you're saying 4-5 tons as a wastage is just a very
4-5 million tons.
4-5 million tons.
25%
okay.
of that.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
India is such an oxymoron in terms of we are producing so much food and everyone's hungry at the same time. So it's kind of ridiculous. So we were like, this is somewhere where we can really make an impact. We've reached a stage now, so where we are at 80 tons a month of processing raw onions. Now that's a considerable quantity of onions. So we have the purchasing power now to actually ensure that kind of trust from the farmers that they will do business with us, they will do yearly business with us, and they are happy to do it because they know that they will be paid a fair price. Because one of the main things that we do is that we pay the farmers directly. Without any credit.
So you're eliminating the trader completely in between.
Completely. So by next Jan, we'll be hopefully into contract farming, and what we are doing, 80 tons a month, maybe we can go to 400-500 tons a month of at least raw produce that we are looking to process. But on the back end of that, all this makes no sense if I can't sell the product.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
So that's what. So we have been able now, we are lucky enough to get those kind of volumes now that we are able to do these things.
That's really amazing.
So it's I just want to add that I love how he's balancing demand and supply.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
but I guess in every business, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we're always stuck in a product business where we're trying to scale something up. I mean, we're always thinking about how to ensure that we, meet supply.
Definitely.
Meet demand and create the right kind of supply for that.
So
the typical chicken egg story.
Between ops and marketing, there's always going to be. So between my production and my sales, there's always going to be a crazy fight.
Absolutely, disputes.
But the thing with marketing is like you have to have the sales ready. If the production is there.
Yeah.
If the production is not there, then fine.
It sounds like a very difficult journey that you've gone through.
Yeah.
What's been your support system throughout all of this?
I mean, I have not had any negative people around me for the last, I don't know, at least 18 months. Even in the darkest of times, like you can imagine when 6 to 9 months into the business, you don't have sales, and it's like your 4th or 5th business, and you start questioning yourself and your own sanity, and you're like, am I stupid? Am I wrong? Like, I thought I was an intelligent person.
Shit.
I thought I could make this work, and now 4th or 5th time it's not working, right? So you really question your sanity, and at those points I luckily have my younger brother, two of my younger brothers. Of course, my youngest brother, he's still too young, but my younger brother is also an entrepreneur himself, so it's great to talk to him because he helps me put a lot of things in perspective. Also, my mom's a social entrepreneur. So she has been like, she has seen so much. She has not shown any more faith in any of my other ideas as much as she has shown in this. So that itself gives me like a lot of confidence. Absolutely. That even in my darkest times, I've been reduced to tears and like
literally and figuratively
tears,
both.
But these tears of my own tears, not the onion tears. So there have been bad situations, but I have to say, every entrepreneur goes through them.
Yeah.
So,
last question.
Yeah.
The future for EGK, and so we've got onions, and I remember, so talking to you and previously.
Yeah.
You obviously want to start another food product. Mushrooms is something that you've been toying with, and so just tell us more the journey of EGK. So onions is one thing, and EGK as a brand.
Yeah.
What is the value addition that you want to bring to society and to yourself by building these businesses or these product lines?
So basically, Everyday Gourmet Kitchen, as the name kind of suggests, we want to make gourmet cooking at home very simple.
Right.
Everyday Gourmet Kitchen. So everyone's home kitchen becomes an everyday gourmet kitchen.
Okay.
So we want to have products that really take away the laborious and time-consuming part of cooking,
Right.
while not taking away integrity of in the integrity of the food. So the fried onions was a place where we started, and over the next 2 or 3 years with EGK, we are going to explore everything that is there to be explored with the onion.
Okay.
And as so there's
The onion is a hero out here, guys.
you'll be surprised how many things onions can make. Yeah, I've been surprised. So,
Yeah.
and then after that, we are now more focused towards helping out with connecting the farmers directly to the consumers, because there's a lot of disruption and innovation happening also on the farmer side of it in India itself. A lot of exotic vegetables being grown which are not available here earlier. Now they have learned the methods of how to grow them, and they are implementing these methods.
Nice.
Maharashtra itself is hugely agricultural, so first we want to tap into that, and that's what we want to concentrate on over the next few years. Let's see where it takes us.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I think with this, we'll bring an end to our episode with
Sure.
Satyajit Roy,
awesome.
popularly known as the Onion Knight. We're really happy to have you for the
Awesome,
show,
guys.
man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Happy to be here.
So as we wrap up this podcast, you can look up Everyday Gourmet Kitchens as EGK Foods. Okay, it's available at all Nature's Baskets in Bombay.
Across Bombay and Thana.
Nice.
And
Thane.
Yeah,
Thane.
I love how that sounds. Okay. And of course, you can just look up Onion Knight on Facebook.
Onion Knight is easily found.
So
Yeah.
you'll find this handsome, dashing fellow.
Single girls, please.
Alright, and on that note, let's sign off. Okay,
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
I'm Munaf Kapadia, host number 1.
And this is Nabeel Merchant, host number 2 of My Neighbour Zuckerberg.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Our podcasts bring all the boys to the yard, and damn right, they're better than yours. But you don't need to stand outside in the yard. Just follow IVM Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We might be on Tinder too. Just go ahead and swipe right.